The best way to pull off being a manly man is not by doing cliched manly activities like hunting sharks with a pocket knife, boxing polar bears, and lumberjacking in winter in shorts. To upgrade being a man to being a manly man, you need to be able to rock those manly activities with style and panache and goodness. At the same time, you need to be able to do anything someone might label unmanly with the exact same confidence and panache and goodness. If someone questions a manly man's activities as unmanly, the manly man laughs his disdain for his less confident brethren. The manly man courageously stands between a helpless child and a vicious hairy spider, but they aren't afraid to call for the cat in the other room to come save them both. Because the manly man knows cats just do that kind of thing way better. Only with confidence have you reached manly man status. The unmanly man is sometimes hard to tell apart from the manly man. They can look alike if they are standing in the surf, bench pressing sharks, or cutting down a tree with a pocket knife, left-handed. But the unmanly man will only do the cliché manly activities. Anything they fear someone might consider girly or gay, they run from in fear. They do the wrong thing if it looks tough instead of the right thing if it doesn't. They use their strength to push down weaker people instead of using it to lift them up. They use power to intimidate, not help. They think throwing acid in someone's face or shooting a little schoolgirl is defending their manly honor. They practice misogyny and racism to cover their own lack of confidence. They cling desperately to all the trappings of manliness. There are several keys in the guidelines for being a manly man. For many years, boys have been taught as they grow up not to cry or be emotional in front of others, as it may be perceived as a sign of weakness. I couldn't tell you how many times I have heard an adult male calling a boy a sissy or making fun of him for being emotional. It is how those men were brought up, and unfortunately, in many cases, is how they are bringing up their own boys. Being manly isn't about being macho, aggressive, territorial, or possessive. Being manly is not about how big your muscles are or your physical prowess. Being manly is not about how many ladies you have had sexual conquests with. To be manly, or the measure of one's successful manliness, is all about this amazing word which is so often a hard thing to attain. The word I am speaking of is balance. Like anything in life, without balance, whatever you are attempting will be a struggle. Manhood, or being manly, is no different. 1. Emotional balance. Here is where many men fail miserably. Being open emotionally is not a sign of weakness, fellas. Showing emotion, reciprocating emotion, and sharing your emotions openly is one of the manliest things many men never do. And, wow, are they missing out? You see, while many men think showing emotion is a weakness, they are actually exposing their own weakness, which is a lack of self-confidence. I am confident enough and secure enough to cry when something moves me to cry. Happy or sad, it doesn't matter. It is okay to wear your heart on your sleeve. 2. Balance of humility. When a man has a balance of humility, he knows what he is great at, but doesn't boast. When a man has a balance of humility, he knows what he is not great and is willing to ask for and accept help to accomplish it. When a man has a balance of humility, he is happy to be the teacher of what he is great at, or he is happy to be the student at what he is not great at. A manly man will gladly accept help and direction as easily as he is willing to give help and direction. 3. Balance of heart and mind. This balance is often the hardest to achieve but can be so important. Achieving a balance of the heart and mind is a symphony of applying knowledge, wisdom, emotion, strength, and common sense. Yes, I know, this is a lot to balance, but a manly man not only achieves this balance, but he also promotes it within those he holds dearest. Balance of heart and mind means you are sensitive enough to pick up on what others need or what may help them, but you are strong enough mentally to not allow others to walk over you. Balance of heart and mind means you can take the chance and wear your heart on your sleeve even though you could get hurt. This balance shows a manly man knows love and happiness is a reward that is well worth the risk. There are so many other societal definitions of a manly man. A manly man hunts, fishes, gardens, fixes his own vehicles, keeps the yard mowed, blah, blah, and blah. Newsflash, women have always been as good and better at all those things, which is why they shouldn't be milestones for measuring how manly a man is. I enjoy all of those activities, but none of them define me as a man, and they certainly don't make me any more of a man. The bottom line for me is this: if I am confident in who I am, then my manly compass calibration is perfect and I am going in the right direction. If you're a man, you don't have to worry about your manliness.